What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ for January 17th, 2012. Today we're focusing on the, obviously I'm going to the big game tonight. I can't wait to see the hometown team play down here. Obviously the big Bruins Lightning game. But I'm going to talk about the Bruins Lightning rivalry that's spurred on because of the conference finals last year. I think it takes a playoff series for two teams to become rivals. And then, the what ifs, what could have happened, should have happened, would have happened. And also what that series meant for both teams this year. To be totally honest with you, if Tampa wins, let's start off that. Tampa wins Game 7 in Boston, which is 1-0 game, one bounce here or there, and you win that game. I think they beat Vancouver. I think the Bruins' power play, especially in the first two games of Vancouver, was abysmal. They get a couple early power play chances with a Cavier, Stammer, and fucking Marty. They would have got a couple past Luongo. Plus, once you beat Luongo once, you can beat him 5 or 6 times. And let's be honest, he's not exactly the strongest mentally, fortitude-wise, amongst goaltenders in the NHL. But it's nature of the beast. And I think, if they won, I think they would have won the cup. I think they would have beaten Vancouver. And obviously, I'm glad the Bruins won as a Bruins fan, but I would have rooted them in the finals. I think everyone would have. Vancouver's a team no one can really like with their classlessness and disrespect for the game, obviously. I'm still wondering if they won that series, would they be struggling as much as they are now? They're last place in the East right now. They're only 12 points out of 8th, though. I mean, that's Florida's first in the division. They're 13 points behind. 13 points behind Florida. I mean, come on. A couple points here and there, got to start converting. The goaltending's been abysmal after the Lightning. I think that's what's been their Achilles heel. The defense has been subpar. The scorer is not named Vinny and Stammer, and Marty's been, missing Marty for that stretch, I think is what set them back there. 0-6-1 in the last 7. The longest losing streak since Stamkos' rookie year. They got to right the ship, and they got to right it quickly. But like I said, they're not dead in the water yet. I would not write this team off. Guy Boucher's too good of a coach, and they've got too many good players to not, bounce back. But back to the Bruins. They obviously started off slow as well, but they've been the best team in the NHL since then. I mean, they're right up there with the Rangers and St. Louis, and Vancouver for the best team and best record in hockey. Those all have 60 or 59 points. The Bruins have 59 points, and they've got a game at hand on the Rangers, 3 games at hand on St. Louis, and 4 games at hand on Vancouver. So, they're in great shape. I really think the only team I think that can beat the Bruins in the East is the Rangers. Because I think Lundqvist can stop everything. I think Lundqvist can have a Tim Thomas-esque series. We've seen what Thomas can do, especially last year in the finals. But back to the rivalry that's developed between these two. A couple years ago, in 2008, the great 7-game ALCS between the Red Sox and Rays raised some animosity. The Rays were always, the second-tier team, always subpar, and sucked every year. The Red Sox, Yankees got to beat the shit out of them. But then, they started pushing back, and it's like, what now? And obviously, the Rays won the World Series, and the Red Sox went home. But and last year, a couple games at the Trop, I was at great intensity between those two teams. The Rays are here to stay in baseball, and I think it's the same thing. They got a little rivalry going on with the Sox, a really good rivalry, and I think that's translating to hockey too. There's a lot of snowbirds down here. I'm guilty as charged. I love the Lightning. I root for them every game of the year except when they're playing the Bruins. That's my only thing. I've really grown to love the team down here. But my loyalty to the Bruins will always be number one, and I think all my friends can respect that from Boston and down here. But they really the other common link between the two of them is Phil Esposito, Espo, number 7, one of the all-time great Bruins, one of my all-time favorite players, was a key part of bringing hockey to Tampa Bay, and one of the founders. I can't wait to see the statue tonight. It's gonna be great, and he's a key. He was rooting for the Lightning last year in the series against the Bruins, but I can't blame him. He's an employee of the team. It kind of comes with the territory, I guess, right? You don't bite the hand that feeds you. But it's still awesome hearing him on the radio talking how much he hates Montreal to this day, and it doesn't matter what market you're in, whether it's Boston, Tampa, Philly. I think we can all agree. Everyone can hate Montreal no matter what. And Espo, they robbed Espo of a couple cups back in the day. So, and I think there's a great one-on-one rivalry in the making in Seguin and Stamkos. Stammer is, I think, the best forward in the NHL with Crosby, being injured and Ovechkin's game going to hell. Even though I think that another center of Pittsburgh that goes by the name of Gino can give Stam a run for his money. But I think Stamkos is unbelievable, and Seguin is on that level. He's fast on Stamkos. He's got a great shot. I think Stammer's shot's a little bit better than Seguin's, but I think Seguin's speed is the difference maker. And I think those two, honestly, can have a great one-on-one rivalry. I mean, Seguin last year goes in the lineup for Game 1 against Tampa, has 2 points. Game 2, 1 period, 4 points. I'll never forget working that night, just being on cloud nine. That was, he saved the season for them, and I really would like to. I'd like to see the Lightning playing better, so the Bruins and Tampa can have a good rivalry, and those two can really have a good head-to-head. Like I said, like Crosby and Ovechkin, I think they're. I like Stamkos and Seguin more than I like Crosby or Ovi for what they bring to the table. Great personalities in both of them. Obviously, Seguin can rage, as fans in Boston saw if they won the cup. He can't Dougie though; it's a shortcoming. But and they really play a real similar game. I like I said, they're both highly skilled centers. Or obviously, Sagan's playing the wing now, where he fits in. Obviously, when you look at, they're both top 2 picks in the draft. Stamkos comes in to a team that needs him to be a savior, and the Bruins get Seguin. It's like, oh, cool. We got a great young player here, but ease him in eventually, and they're both gonna have tremendous success in the league. And I think they'll both have a lot of all-star appearances by the end of the day. Obviously, their play speaks for itself. Couple of things. Oh, and another thing they have in common, both teams, is they put two of the most hated players in the league, and Brad Marchand and Steve Downie, two of the best agitators and guys that I think teams around the league want to take out every time they play. They're some of the best at that, at getting under the opponent's skin and still being able to put the puck in the net. Obviously not Downie this year. I don't know what happened to his game, but he forgot how to score, and Marchand's scoring. Well, Marchand won't be scoring tonight. He got in trouble he got a Shanna ban for not playing well with others. But that's Marchand's game, and Downie plays the same way. And to be totally honest with you, I love it. I love what they bring to the table. I love. Marchand's the rat. It's what he is. He's a fucking rat. And Downie's Downie. I don't know how else to describe him. You got to watch him play. He's got great hair, got the flow going on, and he's tough as nails. And he can put the puck in the net like a little Rick Tocchet out there. And he can throw down. He can throw down better than Marchand can. I love you, nose face killer, but Downie can fucking fight. He can go. Look for a pretty big goaltending matchup tonight. Timmy Thomas and Dwayne Rolson rematch of Game 7. Obviously, Timmy won 2 Game 7s. Dwayne Rolson gave up 1 goal, so I don't think that's anything to shake a stick at. But Tim Thomas's performance last year in Game 7 and throughout the playoffs was something you can write a book about. It's like Mel Gibson and Braveheart leading his men on the ice, and he was outstanding. And probably the number one reason that's why he won the Conn Smythe. That's why he was the most important cog in the Bruins machine to win the Stanley Cup. And Rolson did what he could to get the Lightning as far as they could, and they couldn't get him a goal on Thomas. But I think Timmy Thomas is the only person that saves more than Jesus Christ. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not. But, I don't know. Hopefully the Lightning get back in the playoff race so that we can have a rematch. I really loved. I thought that was the best series of the playoffs. I thought the finals was great because what it ended with. But, Purcell's hat trick, Sagan's 4-point game, Krejci's hat trick, Horty's winner in Game 7, the OT winners in the Montreal series. And, like I said, Seguin saving the day. That was awesome. As someone that I got to valet his car a couple days later, and I got to shake his hand and thank him. And it's pretty cool. And he tips well, so I'll be banging on the glass tonight. Segs. But that's it for the power play with CJ. I got to run and get to the game, but see everyone later. Go Bruins. And except when they're playing the Bruins, go Bolts too.